Good afternoon. This is a very pleasant surprise to see so many people here, and I want to welcome you all to our dedication ceremony. My name is Brad Knoll, and I'm judge here at the 58th District Court, along with Judge Jonas. I should recognize the other judges who have attended today: Judge Feyen from Probate Court, Judge Ed Post from Circuit Court, Judge Knoll from Circuit Court. I think I remember all of your names. Judge Ken Post from the 58th District Court at our Hudsonville location, and Judge Craig Bunce from the 58th District Court at our Grand Haven location. And I would certainly be remiss in not recognizing Judge Jonas Myers, who is also in attendance today. Judge Myers, welcome. On behalf of myself and Judge Jonas, I want to welcome you to the ceremony dedicating the Community Culture Care triptych now gracing the wall of our public stairwell. This work is, of course, more than just an excellent piece of art done by these budding artists, though it is certainly that. To me, it represents an imaginative and novel approach to restorative justice. Now, it's been my observation over the years that I've been involved in the justice system that sometimes old ideas are given new names and then touted as new ideas. Thus it is with restorative justice, a term first applied a little over a decade ago to a concept which has been described as turning the justice system into a healing process rather than simply being a distributor of retribution and revenge. The concept itself is an old one, encompassing ideas like atonement, restitution, or the 12-step idea of making amends. It can be traced back to biblical times and likely extends well beyond that. We have come to recognize the importance of victims in the criminal justice system. Most crimes involve both a direct victim as well as the community as a victim. The community expends resources to investigate, adjudicate, and provide appropriate disposition to the offenders. In a broader sense, the entire community is diminished by criminal activity. Community culture care is a result of a conscious effort by youthful offenders to recognize and make amends to the community. We are the grateful beneficiaries of this effort. The courthouse buildings have always been an important symbol of the importance our society has placed on the founders' concepts of equal justice under the law. As you travel the United States, you can still find many towns where the commercial districts developed around a courthouse square. Ottawa County has recognized the practical and symbolic importance of the courthouse by providing the community with the outstanding facilities we enjoy today. However, as Judge Jonas has mentioned to me on numerous occasions since we moved in, the place could use some art. My usual response has been, "That's a good idea. You should do something about it." The remainder of the program tells the story of how a good idea became community culture care, a lasting symbol of the criminal justice system at its best. At this point, I'll turn the ceremony over to Judge Feyen and close by offering my personal thanks and on behalf of the 58th District Court staff, the court users, and the community as a whole to all those responsible. Thank you. Judge Feyen?
I also am very, very glad to see such a large turnout today. You know, as I was coming across the parking lot, I was thinking to myself, you know, it's a nice big stairwell. You know, we probably have maybe 15, 20 people, we can all fit in there. But then I'm glad to see that we have a courtroom for our use because we would never fit into that stairwell across the way. This is a dedication that is pretty special today because this artwork that we are dedicating today is the product of the youth of our community, and not just youth, but the youth that have at one time or another been housed in our Juvenile Detention Center, which is really, that is incredibly special to me, and we have many employees of the detention center that are here today, and they are very proud of this moment as well. It begins, as I understand it, in 2008, 2009, something like that, when this building had just been completed, and Judge Jonas made her now famous from art, but lack of artwork. And she's been to the courthouse in West Olive many times, as I know many of you have. And if you've ever been there and then you've also been here and looked around and compared, you've easily come to the conclusion that this building is both beautiful and functional and superior in most every way to the West Ottawa building. with one exception, and that is we had a beautiful piece of artwork hanging in the lobby of that building. It was done by students in the detention center. It was, as I understand it, entered an art prize in 2009, and it's still there today. And if you want to go out there, and I'm not in the lobby very often during the business day, you have to understand. But in some of those occasions when I've been out there, it has drawn the attention of people that sit there and are sitting in their chairs waiting, and they're looking at it, kind of wondering about the symbolism, and they very much appreciate it, as do all of us who work there. So Judge Jonas asked her question, and a few people like Brad and myself didn't know what to do with it, and ultimately it got punted over to Angie Briggs-Johnson, who is the teacher, the art teacher in the Juvenile Detention Center. And she said, sure, why not? So she got the students organized, and as I understand it, she asked them a question. And the question is, if they could leave their home for only 1 hour a day, and some of them, of course, would have some personal experience with this, where in the community would they want to go, and why? And so that began a discussion about what community is, what it means to belong to a community, what holds communities together, why is community important. There were about 15 students who started drawing sketches and diagrams, and that ultimately got sort of fused into the 3 panels that you see out there hanging in the wall. And then over a period of time, as I understand it, over 100 students participated in this and in bringing the final piece to its conclusion. So what's out there reflects many, many kids. And it reflects their feelings about our community and their sense of belonging in our community. It has given all of them great meaning. It's an illustration of why it's important to never give up on kids. Why it's important to recognize that even when kids get in trouble, even when they might have to go to a place like our Juvenile Detention Center, they're an important part of our community. They not only want to contribute, but they can contribute. They grow up. They become good and productive members of our community. And part of that productivity is what's hanging on the wall out there. And so I'm very proud of them, and I'm very happy to be a part of this occasion. I'm not going to go too deep into the artwork. I'm going to let somebody who actually knows what that is explain it. So there is a student here with us as well, and that is Jordan Diep. Where's Jordan? Jordan. Jordan is one of the 100, as I understand it, who participated, and she has a very particular and meaningful way in which she participated, and I'm going to let her and Ms. Briggs-Johnson tell us more about that. So if you could come on up here.
I think both Judge Knoll and Judge Feyen said it best, that this process really was restorative. It did turn out to be a great piece of artwork that does make the hall look very much brighter. But I think the best way to share how restorative this process was is to just share with you some of the quotes from a dozen different students, and then Jordan will share her experience with you. But the process, it might have started out as the students giving something back to their community, but actually the experience turned out to be something restorative for them about themselves. One of the quotes is by Brittany, and Brittany's here today. She has actually been part of the process since the beginning, one of her sketches, as well as Jordan's, and Anita's also here. They've been here from the very get-go. So her pencil sketches to adding color to painting, down to the very last day when we were biting our fingernails because we didn't think that it was going to be done in time. But Brittany's thoughts on this process were, participating in creating this mural makes me wonder what other great things I can create. Sorry, I feel a little bit clumsy. It helped me get my mind off of other things that are going on in my life and focus on what I can do to help my community. I can honestly say I am very proud of myself for helping complete something important. It makes me feel like I finally succeeded at something. And then Anita, who also, as I mentioned, has been part of it, her words were, one of the things that I learned from the mural was how to work with others. You had to trust that others knew what they were doing and that they weren't going to mess it up. My favorite part of the project is that I really got to see that there is so much in my community that I could be doing. Haley, who's also here today, said when we painted the mural, it brought light in our eyes and gave us encouragement while we were in here in detention. It was very hard sometimes when our brushes would touch the canvas and something kept getting messed up, but we got through it, and it feels good, very good. I love the murals so much. Michaela says that the community culture care mural has taught me that things I do can count for something. It makes me feel special that some of the work I did along with everyone else is being seen by the public. My favorite part of the mural is getting to mix and create paint colors, because in ways I felt like I made those little parts of the mural my own. Maddie said I really liked working on the mural. It was relaxing, and I feel like I actually accomplished something that makes me happy and very proud of myself and others. Brittany P., who's also here today. The things I like best about creating the mural is that all of us got a chance to put forth effort, and also were able to have a say about what different colors to use and on it and where. And the image that I like best is the one with the face and the different puzzle pieces, because it represents all different shades of skin together as one. Devin, who's not here today, but his comments on the murals were that the murals help show that we can contribute to society positively and that we're not all that bad of kids. Hunter said it was cool to work with so many other people. You had to trust them to finish your part, and we had to fix mistakes together as a team. The mural helped me feel and think that I'm not just part of bad things, but I can be part of good things too. That was from Elena. And probably one of the ones that touched my heart the most is from Scott, who's 17 years old, and this mural was the first time I painted in my life, and I loved it. So, thank Judge Jonas for posing the question, because it did a lot of restorative things. Okay, Jordan, you can talk now.
My experience of this mural and everything, it was pretty crazy because I did start where I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to color it, anything. Ms. Johnson yelled at me because that was a part of my grade, so I had to do it. But I was really mad because I didn't really want to do it. And then it turned out to be way more than what I expected. And all, like, we painted a big mural for the courthouse. Like, that's amazing. Like, we're all like different people, but no one notices us, and like to hear that Judge Jonas wanted us to paint a mural for her was pretty crazy, because usually kids don't get this kind of experience, and people, like, we feel happy about it. A lot of people feel happy about it, so yeah. I don't know what else to say.
If I could I have Stephen and Johan and the Lighthouse girls stand up for a second so you can see some of the students that participated in the mural. And they came willingly to a courthouse on their own.
What's crazy is that people thought that, like, we all thought we were bad kids and everything. Like, we're not bad kids, we just make bad choices. And, like, to how the way that we express ourselves, the feelings and everything, like, people usually are all happy because we got to paint, express our feelings and everything. And we got to show who we really are. And it's pretty crazy, the experience and everything, too. And I want to thank Ms. Johnson and Ms. Jonas for helping out with everything, too, and all that, for letting me have this experience too, which is really scary, but yeah.
Okay, we keep tissue in the courtroom for a reason, but this has been one of the most special occasions as a judge, as a former teacher, to have students that created this kind of work in response to a question that was posed to them. You know, it's been said that artwork is the manifestation of human creativity. And I'm telling you, that's what this is. I was on vacation last week, and I had seen sketches of these murals, but I hadn't seen them hung in the building. And when I walked into the building this morning and I saw those, it took my breath away. It truly did. I am so thankful to you. And I don't know if the students who did this, the youth that did this, have any idea how long-lasting and how meaningful this is to the community, to the court, to have this type of expression. You know, in every civilization has created artwork. Right from the Stone Age, there were cave drawings. We've had other civilizations that have created paintings on canvas in cathedrals, churches. We have had civilizations that have created towers and obelisks in mosques. We have had statues, carvings in wood and in stone. And a lot of this artwork has been preserved in art museums, in galleries, and in public buildings, because most of the public buildings in our country are adorned with artwork. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have artwork here today. And wow, we have it now. We're here to dedicate these 3 incredible murals created by over 100 Ottawa County youth. But what's particularly important to me are the messages that are conveyed in the murals. And if you looked closely at them, I think that you could see that not only did it convey the youth's feeling about their community and their place in it, but messages that are so important to the justice system. The need to respect diversity is clearly portrayed in the face that I talked to one of the artists today who worked on that in the back row. He said he worked on the face and the scale of justice, equal justice for all, the importance of fostering tolerance, the desire to promote inclusivity. And when I looked at the words that come out of the head, which some of them are a little bit difficult to read from a distance, there are the words dream, connect, love, inspire, achieve, unite, success, hope, believe. All of these messages that are inspirational, to say the least. I am so proud of every one of the students that were involved in this project. Judge Knoll and I are so happy to have these murals here on public display for everyone who comes here, the litigants, the people that come into courtrooms that sometimes are for sad reasons, I think can be inspired by what you all did, and certainly by the comments that you made, how you felt about participating in this project. I want to really thank the people who made this happen. You know, I might have had the idea, we should do this, but that was it. That was my part in this. It was everybody else that did this. I want to thank the Circuit Court Administrator, Kevin Bowling, our District Court Administrator, Lori Catalino. I want to thank the Director of Juvenile Court Services, Sandy Metcalf. I want to thank Judge Feyen. I want to especially thank the Ottawa Area Intermediate School art teacher, Angie Briggs-Johnson. I can tell she must be a dynamite teacher just by her communication here today and how she was moved by this project. I want to thank Janelle Chawla for making this part of this is Law Day week. That's what we're celebrating. The Ottawa County Bar Association tonight will be awarding a scholarship, the Elise France Scholarship, in the name of France's daughter. I want to thank, most importantly, before I say the most important, I want to thank our facilities people who made all this happen, who hung this artwork and painted the walls and everything else. But most importantly, I want to thank all of the students that participated in this, and I'm so glad that some of you were here today. I won't read through all of the names that are here again that made their comments, just because there are many others that were participatory. These artworks are going to be here long after Judge Knoll and I are gone. They're going to be hanging in this building for a long time. That's usually what happens to artwork when it's hung. And it is not all inconceivable that someday you will come back to this building as an adult. You may have a child with you, and you will look up at those murals and you will say, I did that. I painted that. And look at where I am now. So, what can I say? Thank you again.